Hey there, Zach Duke again. Welcome back to Just a Cyber Minute, where we help you secure your organization one step at a time. Today, I want to talk a little bit about exception tracking, post-exam, post-audit, post-penetration test, maybe even vulnerability assessment, how to manage the findings, and create a process to make it where your next exam you have glowing results. So the first thing is, when an examiner or an auditor comes in, their job is to find things that you may have wrong. Right? That's part of the process. Now, obviously, as an information security officer, an owner of cybersecurity, and even governance inside the institution, your job is to minimize the findings, and then secondarily have a process to be able to manage whatever expectations they have for you to implement, and create an approval process, ensure that you've implemented it, or if you're going to accept the risk, have a formalized process to be able to document that the institution has accepted that, with approvals and, of course, documentation through committees and ultimately the board. So one of the challenges we see with institutions as we're talking, as they're getting on board, a lot of times this is stuck in the spreadsheet world. Microsoft Excel is fantastic. You can do a lot of documentation in there, but you can't workflow things. You can't have notifications on, hey, this is getting ready to expire based on your date. Hey, we haven't seen any activity in a certain amount of time. This is still open. We can't send for approval and have documentation of the approval process, and potentially even have documentation of the change post implementation. So if there were expectations that they wanted you to implement and you can prove at the end, you want to attach that file, attach that report, attach that document to be able to prove that you've not only implemented the risk through the process of the exception tracking, but also have documentation and prove it. So when you look at your processes today, if you're still using an Excel spreadsheet, I would highly recommend that you go in and you look at this on a routine basis, perhaps even weekly, to make sure that you're managing your team. If you're looking for efficiencies and processes to enhance that, perhaps you look at a system or a solution to be able to automate that process. So today's Just a Cyber Minute. What we talked about was exception tracking post-audit or exam, and how to make sure that you have a glowing result on your next exam. And the way to do that is to create a process internally with technology to be able to automate the process and improve documentation of governance going forward. Thanks so much for your time, and hope you have a great rest of the week.